Hello and welcome to another coaching video, and in this one we have a REK'SAI versus TRUNDLE in the elo of Platinum, and we're going to look at how these sorts of proactive ganking and aggressive junglers work and thrive or don't thrive in this particular elo range, and what you have to do to become diamond capable when you're playing such champions. Now also we'll talk about general jungle principles that work for everybody, but we're going from red into the Krugs. We see the ping by the Trundle. We do not see the ping by the REK'SAI, which means the REK'SAI wasn't tracking it nearly as much. And for some particular reason, the REK'SAI is going to the Raptors. This is absolutely an unholy, terrible idea. Why would you do this? You're red, Raptors, Krugs, for what particular purpose when you have a Katarina mid lane? What is your win condition? Who are you going to go get fed? Are you going to full clear? No, definitely not, hopefully. The idea is, can I REK'SAI quadrant into some sort of action? Now, that action can be here. Sure, you can loop back to this, cut off the Trundle if he full clears, or we can just do this and cut down and deal with this lane. We have possibilities, as it were. But for some reason, we are now going red Raptors, warding this. So basically, we didn't track the Trundle. We didn't think about the game plan of the Trundle. We are nervous and not playing appropriately for what our champion is able to do, and we've missed the opportunity to snowball our assassin. All of these things are critical when you're trying to climb out of Platinum, because your mindset and your game plan versus enemy junglers and kind of bringing it together with lanes is exactly what you need to dominate and carry, as we like to talk about on my side. And if you want to take your climbing and jungling to the next step, head to Virkayu.gg for all of the jungle resources you need, from courses based upon your MMR to one-on-one coaching to the coaching of our library, as well as a free jungle improvement PDF. Everything you need as a jungler to climb faster than anybody else with the role, all located in one place. Why spend 500 hours of your time trying to find out what you don't know you need to know when I can give it to you directly infused into your veins on Virkayu.gg? The REK'SAI is nervous about the Trundle for some strange reason. You know, the only thing I'd worry about is potentially a collapse here, but I don't really think that's going to happen. And again, the Trundle's just doing a full clear. We're not thinking about anything. The issue with Platinums is you lack inherently proactive routes and early game plans. You have decent mechanical power. You make certain decisions that are great. You understand when to rotate, and you do make good ganking assessments from time to time. But you really, at a very high level, lack the ability to have proactive jungle pathing to get yourself leads, tempo control over the enemy jungler, and then leverage that continuously, right? You've got the bottom lane here getting these kills. The REK'SAI didn't even think about that. Didn't even finish the REK'SAI quadrant, then look at this and go, that's a gank I could make, because I know the Trundle started bot side, hasn't shown anywhere, so he must be going to the top side. Katarina is almost in kill threat from the GP. We could have just, has him in kill threat. If we showed up, we'd probably kill him. And now we can go down to the bottom side and kill that. Trundle goes upside, full clearing like a Platinum jungler should do and does if they want to stay Platinum. But the guy who wants Diamond is able to do these things and then fall back to the blue side. Which is better? Obviously that one. These missed opportunities early are what cost you all of your cash money infusion. Now, Ezreal obviously is dead, so we're going to go down here basically before doing the Grump, which is the right decision. But I don't want to basically... I don't want to coin flip this or result base this and say, hey, look this, if he gets kills here, he's a genius. I mean, the Xerath is going to bait it, obviously, this is fine. But from blue team's perspective, should the bot lane take this trade? No, they should just go back to base. Because they know the REK'SAI started topside, they know the Rex is going to be coming down, they should be fearful of this. The wave was crashing, just go reset. So they stay out. Xerath baits, well done, sir. We get a double kill. We feel like, hey, we're doing an amazing job. And in the meantime, as you see here, the Trundle decides to say, hey, look, before I do the scuttle, good job, because we spoke about this recently in the main channel, I'm going to go ahead and gank this Katarina, who basically says, hey, I need to go all in to try and get a kill back if I'm going to die anyway. She doesn't, unfortunate, but at the very least, well, she lives up to her name, as it were. But, you know, you see what I'm saying? I hope you see what I'm saying? REK'SAI misses this sooner. The Trundle full clears blindly and gets paid off from the Katarina going in. If the REK'SAI did her job, the Trundle doesn't have that gank, right? So he has to think about doing something up here, which again, he could in theory do. Now, we ward this, which I love. I love that we ward this, because if the REK'SAI does red, Krugs, Raptors, as you stereotypically would, we know that we're going to have that 4-minute 20-ish, 4-minute 19 Krugs or whatever. We're going to have the 4-minute 35 to 4-minute 45 Raptors spawn. So this will give us that coverage. The REK'SAI decides, for some peculiar reason, to go ahead and try and snack away the GP, misses a Pre-Seeker, so that tells us everything. This is a waste of time a little bit, because what we could have done is just taken our kills, taken this. Now you decide, listen, if Trundle's done a full clear, 24 CRs, yanks mid lane, and then goes up for that Scuttle Crab, he knows that I should have a Raptor camp up at 439. Now, will he go counter jungle probing before then to see if it's available? Yeah, maybe, because they don't really think about these timers as much as they should. Thus, he will run into my Raptors because I took them before the Krugs. That's unfortunate, but it's also my mistake. If I'm the REK'SAI, now if you did basically say, look, I resign myself to losing these, then you could do the Crump. Then you could go back to base and then go to the Krugs. The Krug should be the thing that's available, and these shouldn't be, so this guy should not be here to snack these, right? So you should be able to do the Grump reset and now go to this particular stage, absolutely fine, or gank top lane first if she hangs around and get that nice pre-level 6 gank. So the REK'SAI had the ability to control this game, but has not. Yes, 2-0-0, that's fine. Made the best play given a shitty situation, but it's a shitty situation she gave herself. Now, Katarina is back in lane, doesn't see this at all. Mid-tick Katarina for sure. The Trundle goes aggressively here, knowing he has a Gwen rotating, but again, not a lot of mana. He's able to smite that sucker away here. Katarina is eventually going to rotate. REK'SAI goes in, not noticing that the Gwen has left, misses a Prey Seeker again. Now they're out of position. Flashes out here. Katarina goes in, also no sums. Avoid the dagger if you can. Gwen is immune, Gwen is immune. Uses the E there. Easy kill on the REK'SAI, so she doesn't get away with that. This telegraphic pathing, right, tells a Trundle who's here, full HP, that you're gonna go to this, and he has the ward on it so he can see you. It's just a complete failure for early game planning and gank pathing. Tragic, really. Absolutely tragic. Now, out of base here, this is gone, this is available, this is up, this is up. You've got second spawn Krugs, but nothing else. You've got your level 5 Wolves, and you've got your level 1 Grump. Where do you go? Most likely, blindly, you're just going to go and feed yourself in the bottom lane. The Trundle knows that that's going to be the case because of the fact that why would you go topside with one camp here when your top laner has to basically still go back to base, and Gwen's going to come back with a Leeching Leer. Yeah, right? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, the Trundle goes back down to this side, knowing he did Red Krugs Raptors, so he can take this and take this, and he can shadow this. The downside is he has not yet spent his cash money gold, but when you're a strong early game champion, you can sometimes stick it out a little bit. But of course, because the REK'SAI got 2 kills, it's not necessarily a fight I want to take, but at the same time, blue team is absolutely going bazonkers onto the red team here, using that lead that they got, even though the REK'SAI did some damage, and we're just going to go ahead and kill that. Ziri's a great champion. Now, REK'SAI, obviously, in this particular case, may or may not show herself. There you go. We have the GP shoving the Katarina again. Why is it REK'SAI using her serrated Dirk purchase to gank this in any capacity, right? Looking to trail the bottom lane, not thinking about the mid lane, not playing eyes up, not clicking on the map, not looking at what's available. Katarina 6, GP is not, by the way. We have an advantage here. We really have an advantage that we are not using. We do not have control on the map. The Trundle does this and goes back to base. This is great. Here you see this. We have Tiamat plus a longsword. Did we need to do the Raptors here? No. Because basically, if you've got the Tiamat, you're good, right? So we could look to reset immediately and then make a more smooth play. I've been speaking about this on the main channel quite a lot. Should you leave a camp on the map on the quadrant? Should you clear the quadrant out? Here you could look to basically just finish this off and go back to base and then go topside, but again, it's a lot of time to invest on a Raptor camp when you don't have Tiamat. So we could just go back to base after this and say, cool. And then you can either look to do this, and cut in some capacity. You could do a full clear down if you so chose. There's a lot of things you could do if you leave everything available. Likewise, if you're just trying to prevent possible counter jungling, you could just do the camps, but again, without Tiamat, maybe it's better to do this to shadow, right? You could base here, you buy the Tiamat, you go here with the intent of doing this into a cut-in, or doing this into this, because REK'SAI would go down here, and if your bottom lane does work, cleans up as they do, REK'SAI will be forced to go to the top side, which means you can easily go boom boom, instead of full sequencing, cut in, take a dragon. Use that prior. They come back, you dive them. Pain for them. Then you can go back to base and straight to the Herald. REK'SAI is destroyed. So basically, I've covered extrapolation, hypothetically, what could and should have happened from the REK'SAI's perspective in terms of control. And I've also done it from Trundle's perspective. So the issue is, if you're not seeing this in game, I guarantee it's because you're lacking information gathering techniques, which is why in the Platinum course, I really put in so much damn time into how you can become a master of information processing, right? It allows you to make way better decisions. Because basically, a lot of the problems with Platinum junglers is, look, you're mechanically decent, you've got a good fundamental understanding of the game at a baseline level, but you just lack the flexible decision-making procedures to maximize the win condition, whatever that might be, right? Yourself or your lane, it doesn't really matter. And once you fix that, and you're able to really gather information, right? Process and extrapolate what people are going to do based upon behaviors, the game becomes slow motion, becomes easy. And when you do that, that's free diamond. And then of course the diamond course, which is what I'm making, is a whole different ball game, but basically think of it as like almost like a prestige level. The Trundle is now basically doing what I said he could have done in the first place. So we're basically roughly exactly where we should be. We see the Trundle move on up, so we know, sorry, the Xerath move on up, so we know that we can make that counter gank. Ezreal does show up here. Katarina super low. REK'SAI could cut down from above. Something to keep track of. There we go. Again, I don't know what's going to happen, but that's just senses, right? It's obvious. No, the REK'SAI's down here going up. We know that's what's going to happen. Thresh rotates. Ziri's free. That was an extraordinary example, even if underwhelming in terms of results, of misdirected intent, right? This is something I speak about in every Platinum piece of information I've ever released. Whether it's a guide from 2017 or the most recent stuff I've put out into coaching sessions, I always talk about misdirected intent. In fact, it was the video. If some of your original followers, in 2018, I made a 5 tips to diamond, all roles video. I spoke about micro mechanics, using misdirected intent. Hey, I'ma hook you. I'ma do it. Just kidding. I'ma swap and hit the person on the right. Or hey, I can hook this person and flay the Ezreal at the same time, right? You're basically not allowing them to predict where your spells are going to go. And that video, of course, was copied by many. In fact, Pro Guides copied it word for word on the title before they changed it a little bit, but the tags were just copy-pasted. It has Virkayu in their tags on the video to this day. There you go. Sometimes it do be that way. Now, we have here the REK'SAI falling back again to the Raptors. Now, the Trundle gets a little bit greedy for this shove because, again, it's just him, even though he has got 3k gold versus 2.7. And the Thresh is here. Thresh is here. I mean, the GP's in base here, and obviously the Gwen is dying to the Cho'Gath, so you want to be a little bit cautious. Unless your Thresh is a god, then yes, by all means, follow him into battle. Do it. I mean, if someone's going to make a play and you can play off of and make a play off of their play, always, right? So, nice little bit of adaptability there. But again, we're being dragged around a little bit. Why would we go for this? What would you think is a better option in this particular case? We know we just shoved the REK'SAI out. Okay, we just got a kill on their Katarina. Their mid lane is bot lane. Sorry, their bot lane is mid lane, got that inverted. We don't have to telegraph that we're going down. What we can do is we can move down and acute angle up. Because we know there's an orange scuttle, a whole damn blue side. We've got the Herald up. That's more important to me. This guy's up top side by himself. The downside to that particular play is they're here as expected. He's here as expected, and she's here. Not as expected, but we know that that's the case. The issue is that Cho'Gath doesn't actually have that much cash money gold, which means he's not really going to be expected to reset. So for me, this is a bit of like, okay, I don't think I can force a Herald here given the state of my solo lanes at this particular stage, right? GP is returning. She's getting free plates down here. But at least I can go acute angle cut, snack this sucker, boom, 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 take away all. So REK'SAI will basically think you've gone down, try and counter jungle, get nothing, be confused about why the Skelly Crab is down, and maybe try and coin flip this. So what you can then do is invest that time, misdirecting, taking all of this, looping back, circle path, jungle PDF. If Cho'Gath stays to do this, if REK'SAI stays to do this, and your Gwen shows up again, and your GP shows up again, and your Xerath, your Thresh stays here again, he's 6, he's 4, you can make the fight. All while your ADC can just hit for free. Huge, right? So let's see what actually develops from this. I would anticipate that the REK'SAI saw the Trundle, anticipates the Trundle's going down and gets a free Herald forward, also a free Scuttle Crab. Or does the Trundle cut in? See, that's what I'm talking about, right? I'm talking from if you were to be a Diamond Master Plus player, how would we think about the game here? How would we smurf it? This is a tragic loss of objective, a tragic loss of a Scuttle Crab, something we easily could have gotten. We have the ability to stat check them. Huge, I think. A huge loss. Now we're waffling, and again, the Gwen has the prio. That's what I was saying, right? If you just buy a bit of time, let her catch the wave top lane, let GP go here, ping the Thresh and say, yo, come help me, let's do it. A lot of times they'll do that, especially when the support is level 4, and he's level 6. So I think you could have really enforced this for a 4v2 fight. Easy snack, easy Herald, let Ziri do this kind of stuff. break this tower down, whatever you have, right? So I think that's a missed opportunity. Big time. In the meantime, basically what we've done is gone down, done the Raptors, Wolves. If you're going to leave a camp on the map in your quadrant, make it the Wolves, ideally the only camp, potentially. This should not be left alone, and this should not be left alone. These are the highest value camps. And I do think our base here would have kept us in a better sequence. Because we took this and based, this and this weren't together. And inherently that caused a lot of problems when it comes to like, hey, what camps are available for me to do? Because now like he wants to do this and go down here, but oh, all these camps are available. So why did you even go to this in the first place? It just spawned and he was like, oh, it spawned, I should take it. You see what I'm saying? You got to think about your camp sequencing, your quadrant clearing very dynamically. The main channel videos, the last 3 really cover this in depth if you're interested in terms of like, when is it good and when is it bad, right? The bad habits discusses when it's bad, but the challenger one discusses when it's good, obviously. Now, in the meantime, we are shadowing the scenario and REK'SAI shows up, Katarina gets some kills. We go, well, I guess my GP is dead. Imagine if I had a Herald that I could use in the mid lane here. Maybe I could kill the Katarina because I was even more fed. But these are things we don't have. She has level 8, we do not. We're just going to catch this wave and hold a little bit. Again, a waste of time. It's nice to do. But in my universe of jungling, we're not really sitting around to do this, right? We're making some kind of other flow play while that's happening to deny the enemy jungler to maybe just kill this guy, get and kill his turret. While REK'SAI's here, I'm taking this, trapping, or just diving and then killing anyway. And then falling back to this at the very least. And then boom, boom, finish this quadrant, dust it up, go back to base. Now I can go topside and maybe dive this, right? You've always got to think like that. If you find yourself in these situations where you're kind of doing like a mini loop of, invade, not even the scuttle crab, just kind of going down to this, and looping back around, that's not a good loop path. So if you're going to do a loop like that, that's more like Charlie Brown's hair than a loop path. Whereas this kind of concept would have meant a lot more, right? Again, probably still looks like Charlie Brown's hair, but you get the point. Now we're going to go and basically just start up a dragon. REK'SAI shows bottom side. That was fast paced, but I think that's fine. Our bottom lane has prior 0 rotates over. She's super juiced. You know, in this particular case, look, my bottom lane is really far ahead. Katarina's low. GP's going to show up. We'll get the money. And we'll get it strong. So we did that. We'll take this. Hopefully we can now finish off the red side quadrant. I assume REK'SAI at this particular stage would have taken her camps because the bottom side turret is dead. I feel like we're chasing an Ezreal here. I mean, we burn the flash. That's great. But, you know, I know the REK'SAI isn't in this area. And I always talk about doing the objective and then pushing the map. But we kind of know those camps aren't up. I have, 2.5k in pocket. That's my feeling at the moment. We've been out a while. Let's just do this sucker stuff, back to base, I mean, you could just back to base now anyway. The quadrant clear is just if you want to go top side. Maybe Herald's still up. If there's really nothing else up, you could just go deep ward and base, right? You don't have to necessarily stay out at all here. So, depends on the map. Also, if you see this and I'll rotate to that. Yeah, we can do something about this. Joga does the flashings. We just run in, okay, we're Trundle. Kill something for the passive, kill something for the passive, kill something for the passive. Nah. Well, when I said you should rotate, I mean, knowingly, yeah. If you can get out and not die, that's what I mean. But we all make mistakes. And also, we all get sucked into these things. I don't expect anyone to go deathless, right? I expect people, me included, Canyon makes these mistakes, everyone does. Literally everyone makes this kind of thing. It's like, oh, I should rotate and hub. I shouldn't have done that. Adopt the 80% rule, apply it as best you can. Obviously, we're kind of memeing a little bit here, but it is what it is. We died. Shouldn't have, but we died. Easy VOD review question. GP now ults the ground. Oh, sorry, that's not GPs. Oh, goodness gracious, the particles. The particles from some of these skins throw me off at first glance. That was the Trundle W. Now, we run to the mid lane, with the rest of the team running to the mid lane instead of going, why didn't I do something else with it? REK'SAI still has a Herald. She will have to use it. This feels like a gross oversight on her part. She eased over the wall there to get a knock-up on the Gwen. Gwen will reposition, chuck out a nasty ultimate. Zero will just punch these down. Gotta use it. Mid-game strategies for Trundle. Hey, my team's going mid because this is dead. I want to join them. Let me go Krug's Red Raptors so that I can join them in sequence, should something happen. Now he's pathing down, so if something happens, he's going to have to cut back over ground. He's already walked, wasting time. We also could very easily sloop this way. Like if you wanted to go into this and kind of control this to shadow this guy. If you had good pressure here, you could, but we're not quite at that stage yet, right? We're still looking for this one. If they're really pushed up, you don't want to take a lot of time in the quadrant. Probably red into scuttle into shadow, right? That's the most important thing here. Now, the Herald is used, top side, and we're going to go ahead and rotate and cut off the Cho'Gath and say, not today, sir. Although, actually, never mind. REK'SAI gets it. 200 IQ. Yeah, but hopefully you understand what I mean with the mid lane play. Because our team were really still tier 1, their team wasn't really positioned, they were basing, resetting. We had time to do the quadrant and cut towards them and join. If they were kind of pushing up super far, you don't have that time. So you just want to take the red, take this, and kind of now be able to float between, counter jungle the camps. More a 15 to 17 minute play is necessary. Now, REK'SAI goes to the top side to try and fight the Gwen, and I don't think that's going to work very... I mean, it's closer than maybe it should have been, but I didn't think it was necessarily going to work. Gwen is particularly strong when she has a Rift Maker, and obviously Prowler's Claw is being removed. Same gold, actually, but still Gwen. End of the day. We take the Raptors yet again, a bit of an obsession with the Trundle. We'll take this. This is good. There's been some good stuff. Like, no doubt there's been some very good stuff from the Trundle. Okay. Little passive on the early clears, and the full clears it was slow, but good reactive gank to kill the Katarina. Takes the Scuttle Crab, sees a REK'SAI, cuts her off. Doesn't allow her mistakes to go unpunished. Is execution always perfect? No. But the intent is good, right? The intent is very good. I like the majority of what I'm seeing from the Trundle. Consistency is always an issue, but it's not terrible. Well, that was terrible, but it's not terrible in principle. Definitely a lot of KDAs to be gained in terms of making the right play and being positioned better. Like here again, we cut through here. What we could do here is do this and just push with this guy. So in these cases, or these kind of junglers, I like to take all and then join if this looks doomed, if that makes sense. Because, you know, Gwen's not in the picture. So we fall unnecessarily once more. REK'SAI just joins her team to make whatever play she can. Gwen shows up at a base. REK'SAI is now taking the turret shot. Gwen uses her ultimate. Do we have another one? Yes, we do again. Going one direction while R-ing the other. Very nice. GP is just going to hammer away at this one for free. We obviously have Katarina available. The Ezreal coming up out of base. The ult doesn't do anything. This guy doesn't have ult for another 11 seconds. I don't think we're timing that. I'll be honest, I'm not timing that. 108 seconds. I don't think I would nail that accurately, honestly. I try my best for junglers, and I know a lot of lanes and feelings, but in terms of like knowing the cooldowns of every champion in the game at 60, 11, 16. No. If a professional jungler can't remember to buy the jungle item, I think we can get away with not knowing that particular stuff. Ward placed here. We know the dragon is spawning. We know that they're going to shove, but the Ezreal is shoving in here. Now we have vision control. For them, it's a fog of war game, right? They have to come in through the fog of war. They know exactly what's going to happen or who's there. So we just rinse and burn it perfectly. Level ahead. Hit the pillar. Press a W. Zeri tries to poke. He arcane shifts out. Flashes and healer up again. Be cautious not to be mispositioned here. GP. Blasting cone. Xerath is now ulting, so we know that's on cooldown. Ezreal ult misses. The Cho'Gath just goes and eats GP. Now obviously the REK'SAI goes into the backline there. We're going to peel back, and Zeri and Trundle will make sure they kill the REK'SAI. Nice job by the Trundle. Now we have the Katarina ult gets interrupted with the pillar. Very good job. But Gwen isn't here, so we are at disadvantage. And what does he do that's intelligent? Runs the hell away. Don't die with your team for no reason. I like this a lot. Can you cover this? No. So what can I take while they're busy? What can I deny while they're busy? He's here. They're pushing this. I can't hold this. I'm gonna snack this baby. You could even go even further. Don't think we should necessarily, but hey, this is great. Could we snack the Herald quickly? That would be thievery. That would be very big tier. I don't know if we can. You know, I would like to, but I don't know if we necessarily can. This would be higher risk than necessarily I would do. Basically, the concept here is, look, I can't hold the mid lane turret. I'll take this, I'll take a Scuttle Crab, I'll take a red, I'll take this and just go back to base, or I'll loop back around and take my blue side. And I counter jungling, counter jungle them. Sure, they get the turret, sure, they get the Herald, but that's about the best scenario we could wish for. Just because we died and we lost that fight. Obviously here, I'm not too sure about this, but our team's coming from base. If we can stall, Gwen is flanking, no TP on the Cho'Gath, maybe we could do something. But again, the idea is to mitigate the loss as much as possible, right? Take their camps, and make sure we secure ours, get the Scuttle Crab, whatever. But If there is an objective and we can time a fight because they overstayed greeting to try and contest us, then hey, I'm not going to say no to that fight. And again, he's probably like, guys, what are you doing? Like, we took the turret, just leave. Which means we could have actually snuck it away. So, depends on death timers at what particular point in the game you are. As always, nothing's black and white. You know, you got to play it as is. What's happening right now that makes this play good or bad? Hey, my team are all going bot lane to deal with Cho'Gath. I should run away and give up the Herald. Yes, of course. Hey, my whole team is joining me. He doesn't have TP. He's on this. We should take the fight. Yes. So it changes. You have to be able to recognize those triggers. Zeri does a great job now pushing the map and getting something deep. Gwen will steal this one. We get some deep vision. We get to fall back to this one. Golden pocket 1500. Not a huge fan of the amount of gold we sit on. So like, why go here? You could have just gone this into this and then reset because you've got empowered as well. Now you got 832 in pocket, 487 in pocket. You're like, oh, can't really buy anything else, I suppose. Or maybe that's a Vamp Scepter you can get instead, right? If you're going to go Blade of the Rune King tech, which you probably should. Or it's just some control wards. But in either way, you can justify staying up for this, going back to base, getting some extra itemization as necessary, and off we go. Let's see what we do. Now we're going to go down here into this, probably just take the red. Zeri's going to take the red anyway. Why is she taking the Raptors? I mean, I know why, but like, oh, she has a red anyway. I know, but whatever. Whatever. REK'SAI on that, we'll take that away. Still would have preferred the Krugs into the red. Either way, the whole point is bottom side to upside to join your team. A great example. Not again executed perfectly. We're peeling, we're disrupting, we're getting in the way, we're being the Soaker, we're forcing the Katarina ult. Our team is peeling back. We're being the front man here with a lot of lifesteal, a lot of damage. So Gwen's doing huge jobs in the backline. Then we're going to finish off the Katarina as well. We get E'd by the Zerath, W'd by the Zerath, and the REK'SAI was cut off as well. Woof! Thresh played well. Again, down, up, join, fist, win, shove. Simple mid-game stuff. You got or what? You got or what? I mean, if you anticipated the flash, that would have been better, but I don't think it's possible because of the range. That's Zerath. Beautifully done. Beautifully done from the blue team. REK'SAI tragically done. And honestly, nice bait here on the Herald. We can now fall back and take everything. Don't overcommit and well. Anyway. Just run. Just run if you can. Yeah, disengage. It's fine. I mean, there's only... I mean, no, you can actually turn it, but I'm worried about the Cho'Gath just pressing the button. Exactly right. Here again, take the Gromp, kite down, run away. Dragon is coming up. There through respawn. Turn and fist him. Fist him. Trundle, Trundle. There you go. He knows to turn. He realizes he's strong. That's the Warwick. That's why these kind of stat-checking champions need to get these leads so you can do that kind of stuff. Hey, I like it. But again, it's the chain. Right, the initial goal is, okay, look, it's doomed. I'm gonna run away. Oh, my team's turning. I can help them. Okay, Cho'Gath killed my ADC. Let me take this one. Now I'm gonna leave. I can turn the. Oh wait, I can turn this fight easily. I can win this fight. It's the evolution of decision making as you go through that. But again, don't die now. Katarina's up. You can see I am living in the moment here with the Trundle because I don't know what he's going to do. I want to leave so I can ensure that I get this. I want to take this because my ADC gets chomped by Cho'Gath. When they overcommit and I know I can win that 2v2, I will take that 2v2 and win and snack it. But then it's done. Now it's done because now you're sitting on huge amounts of gold, right? We can finish Blade. Boom, boom. Maybe you can fall back to this, but ideally we're just syncing up our basing with the Zeri spawning so we can take this sucker right here. Now Katarina overcommits. TP from the Cho'Gath. Hooks the cannon minion. Should have probably killed that first. Knock up. Katarina's gonna go, oh, of course, yeah, of course. All ADC should have this. Cho'Gath eats Thresh. Gwen is splitting on the top side, and our bot lane dies. So now imagine if we're there with a bot lane because we didn't die unnecessarily here over chasing a Katarina or Cho'Gath, whatever. What ifs, what ifs. But at the same time, I think pretty obvious that these should be fundamental aspects of our game plan and our jungling and how we think about every single game, you know, the risk assessment. We've got this mid down. She's pushing top. That's fine. Are we going to go and coin flip? Like, why? There's no reason to be here at all. There's no reason to be here unless... unless he is a cot among men. Unless he is Odin. No. He's not. He dies. I mean, Gwen does a good job. The Herald's going top lane already. He's sent... I'm all for fun and making the mechanical play, making the turn. You know, I play Warwick too and Volibear and things like this, but I just, you see my mind. I don't like unnecessary fights in this phase of the game, no matter who, unless I categorically 1v9ing it. Because as Trundle, while they do this, and Gwen does this, and Herald goes here, I can just do that by myself, or at the very least with one other person. So go ahead, take the dragon. I'm gonna beeline. Obviously it's warded here, so that's why if you're not gonna check this, just beeline through this direction into the middle of the pit. Start doing it. They're gonna reset to deal with the Herald and the Gwen. Gwen keeps pressure, or she joins you. Snack that baby up. Fall back to this side. Reset. Get whatever final itemization you need. Everybody joins to go down here. Gwen can basically flex into this and cut down. That's the end of the game. I feel like missed opportunity, and of course another unnecessary death, which is weird because he's only got 4 deaths. But 2 of them in the most recent memory were not good at all. REK'SAI comes out of base, blindly face checking her red side jungle from this perspective. Hey, what in this particular case, there's nothing much you can do other than wait it out, play intelligently, look for a pick again. Trundle now basically is 2 levels up. He's gonna do his wolves into his blue. I'm actually curious, when last did he do this? I wasn't paying attention at all anymore. I was looking at the rest of the map. Maybe it wasn't even him. Just don't remember him taking a lot of Gromps this game. Anyway, Cho'Gath is looking pretty big. The Gwen is just going to be split pushing over now. Imagine if she had the Baron. For some particular reason, Gameplan is way overcommitted, so we're going to peel and make sure the Zeri is alive, which is perfect, exactly what you want to do. The REK'SAI flashes in, does not have the damage at all. Zeri is super fed. Nice peel by everybody. Gwen can just split push and probably inhib, maybe get another turret. Ezreal is alive, obviously. That's what we have to track. She can do that and snack that. They have to go and hold. They can go and do the Baron. There we go. Gwen will die for this, as is the way. We'll snack that baby up. There we go. Again, not a big issue. Like, it's fine. But hopefully you're basically seeing the Platinum play that is fine, that gets you the win in Platinum, versus the optimal plays that get you the win in any elo. Yeah. 1600 in pocket. I would have preferred to have reset to spend that gold after Baron. Because now, again, we're doing one more push. That's it. DP again. Top side. Yep. You can push this out a little bit. Don't go... No. This wave isn't really pushed up yet. We could go push this up. Cut in whichever way you think necessary and save. Because this will push up further. We'll get to see someone hold earlier. Then we can join together. So... we have forced to flash out. But it should be one last fight. Let's see how we do. Gwen is TPing. Gangplank used his ultimate, unfortunately, that we forced that as well. So I do think we should have looked to push that bottom lane a little bit harder, but Gwen. Okay, so he's just doing the split pushing now, is he? Okay. Jungle is no longer needed. Alright, that's the end of the game, I think. Inhibs. Baron. And... Nexus. So, interesting game, I think. A really good Platinum game. If you play any sort of aggressive ganking jungler, hopefully this provides some insight. The Trundle did a very good job. No doubt. Could he have had 30, 40 more CS? Yes. Could he flame Horizon the REK'SAI in another case? Yes, potentially. The REK'SAI, just not very good all around. Some decent things, but both of them missed the optimal plays at certain stages. Hopefully it does help you a little bit in terms of thinking about the game in a different way, finding those optimal plays, and really punishing the mistakes of enemy junglers, while also having a more proactive game plan and existence in this elo, such that you can carry, win, and climb. And as always, I will see you all in the next one.